Journal entry, 23rd of May, in the year of our Lord, 1075. I have never forgotten the cruelty and deceit of women, starting with my own mother, who abandoned me at birth. Then Sister Catherine, who showed her utter disdain for us boys with every stroke of the cane, and lastly, my master's misguided daughter, whose lust and cruelty carelessly destroyed what life I had built for myself. Yet, here, at this camp of misfits and wandering souls, on dusty roads in foreign lands, I have seen more love, compassion, and companionship than I deemed possible. Sophie and Richard the Brave, my first companions, have been as much of a mother and father to me as I've ever had, and though Richard's love for ale is beyond measure, it never surpassed his devotion to his wife. A knight has, of course, duties, a part of the code chivalrous, a part that, I must admit, I have chosen to avert my thoughts from, is concerned with the pure love between a knight and his muse, a woman of noble birth and impeccable conduct. Thus I shall seek, as part of my quest, such a woman for myself. A lady fair and pure, beyond the crass dealings of commoners, with the highest aim being to receive a lock of her hair or a handkerchief as a token of acceptance of me as her chosen champion. Alas, beyond that, my ambitions dare not venture. We are on our way out of the kingdom of Ruthenia and leaving its capital Kiev behind, escorting Countess Anna of Korosten on the behest of her husband towards Prussia, war-torn Prussia, through the Eastern European lands. There shouldn't be any major danger along the roads. Some minor troubles with forests, but nothing that our forward scouts shouldn't be able to handle. So off we go. And yeah, Bernard has sort of gotten the idea that, not all women are bad, and he should be keeping an eye out. However, then disaster strikes. In the dead of night at our camp near Chortolicy, I step out quietly. What was that sound? That's when I see it. My friend Gerhard quietly approaches my acquaintance, Kalonymos, our caravan master, who is sleeping under a tree. Using a rope, Gerhard swiftly strangles Kalonymos, leaving him hanging from a tree branch. Gerhard quickly scans the area, unaware that I've seen everything. Kalonymos has died, murdered by Gerhard, our friend. It seems that Gerhard the Evil, at the end of the day, has never really warmed up to the different beliefs and ideas that Kalonymos held, and has given in to his baser instincts. He is my knight, he is my friend, but he is also a murderer. And as that, he will be imprisoned, and we will have to see what happens. So, Gerhard, we've lost in one fell night, and we're dealing with that in a second. In one fell night, we have lost our caravan master and our bodyguard, and Kalonymos, with whom we have traveled far and wide, has been murdered. Which, of course, leaves his wife now a widow, Yehudis, who once was married to Kalonymos and is now grieving. And at the same time, also Jeanne, who is the wife of Gerhard, leaves her in. Well, she's a good woman. Leaves her in a bad spot, really, because there are many things we can forgive, but murder is not one of them. Meanwhile, as we head towards Pomesania, we stop in our trucks for a short break. Many venture forth to look for a source of food or water, while others rest in the shade of the trees. I observe Richard forage in the underbrush, but all of a sudden he jumps back with a cry. He has been bitten by a snake. Eventually the serpent releases its fangs from his flesh, but it is clear that the venom is taking its toll. So let's see. We can delay by 3 months to let him recover. I can try to treat it myself, but I think Sophie, his wife, is the better healer here. So Richard loses his trait. However, that doesn't change the fact that we now are having to decide what we shall do with Gerhard the Evil, who is currently imprisoned. We could execute him, or we could release him and potentially banish him from our camp. We will leave him and in prison until we reach Prussia, and then we will seek the wisdom of my friends and followers to see what we're going to do with him. Meanwhile, we are going in need of a new bodyguard. Thierry has stepped up to take that role, and we are in need of a new caravan master. So Yehudis could take it, or Jeanne could actually take over. I think Yehudis has learned a lot from her husband on the ways, so she's going to become the new caravan master in his stead and prepare things for us. But so far this journey has been nothing short of a disaster. When we thought that everything was under control, this very much turned out not to be the case. The barber's tent has been completed, so this helps us deal with plagues a little bit better. And that leaves the question, what are we going to do next? Now, the Kingdom of France, where we're ultimately heading, from what we've heard, well, it's not in a great shape. The English are occupying parts of Normandy under William the Conqueror. King Philip himself has been said to be afflicted by the pox, leaving his young queen more or less in charge of things. And things overall are not going well. So we shall return towards our homeland of France and see what might be done. But in the meantime, we will proceed, and we will have to decide what we do next. So with our camp. But before that, as we walk through the streets of Peresopnitsia, a procession of soldiers emerges from the side street. Most of them are injured and aided by downtrodden civilians. A herald proudly stands up in front of the throng of people gathering around the marketplace and declares with a loud voice, "We have crushed those Novgorodian dogs yet again. It is only a matter of time before victory is ours." When you have people running through the street proclaiming such things, it is usually a sign of the opposite. And yet the celebratory words pales when I look at the injured soldiers and their grieving relatives. We could donate some coin to the Russians who are injured. We could have a conversation with them for potentially some martial lifestyle. Worst case, we end up insulting them. But I think maybe they have some wisdom to share from their battles. And we got 370 martial lifestyle. That is good. Talking about martial, that is probably the next thing we'll do with it in the tent. But meanwhile, thunder echoes ominously overhead, a dull interruption to the lashing winds and whipping rain working on scattering our convoy. Distant cries echo up and down the line as carts and animals sink into thick mud, the storm doing its level best to wash us all the way to hell. Children and elderly shiver in miserable silence, soaked to the bone, and wondering when hypothermia will begin to set in. The air crackles with static and tension alike, my followers on the edge of breaking. So a martial challenge to push through, planning, or because we're stubborn, by sheer will. I think planning has the best option for us. Get the gear, go on and move. Proper planning wins through, and we have saved the day. But this trip that was not fraught by massive dangers. We're talking about like that was a 2% chance of danger, I'm just saying. And we don't currently have a caravan master because Yehudis has not yet taken over officially. But things could be better. Our hook with Matteo di Bologna will expire soon, but I think he's too far away to do anything. We can ask for some payment. So we'll get that paid off by the Greek mayor that we've been working with, and we can make we could make a request for provisions. We're good on provisions, and he doesn't have an awful lot of gold, and he wouldn't accept it either, so that's fine. Yeah, this journey has been not going well so far, despite the fact that things have been actually relatively well under control. Richard moans as he rides alongside me. He slumps down across his horse, whimpering and clutching at his temples. Yeah, Richard is a bit of a drunkard, and that will eventually probably be his undoing. But we will obviously not laugh at him, but we'll slow down for him. He's going to be hungover for quite a while, and hopefully that can cure him of his misery. So yes, camp. We do need to decide what we're going to be constructing next. We already have the fixed layout for the travel speed. We've got the baggage train for the proficient truckers, and we've got the barber's tent upgraded. But I don't think there is anything major important that we need right now, and definitely not a torturers. One thing that we haven't done is to actually set a camp purpose, and I think Bernard of the Lions, Leon de Beauvais, is coming to the realization that his homeland might need him, and and his quest to become a knight, at some point he might have to also become a military leader. So we could. We've got a few options. We could add the roaring campfire for additional knights, or we could do the proving grounds, which I think the proving grounds is the one more for armed for armed troops. Additional knights is kind of nice, but I don't think there is much around the roaring campfire that we can actually use. This is for criminal contracts, which we're not doing. This would be not an awful lot, really. I think that would have help here. There's some. That's the supply tent. There's some things that improve the night effectiveness, but maybe not a bad one. So we do have a pretty good learning skill at this point, so we could use that to improve our knights. Let's do the roaring campfire, and we might remove the camp perimeter later if we are going into the mercenary area, which we need to do anyway for the Knight of the Swan decision. But for now, we're traveling across the countryside, and we've almost reached, hopefully without further incidents. Meanwhile, in prison, Gerhard the Evil has succumbed. He died in captivity at age 53, leaving Jeanne, his spouse, as a widow. In the end, he's been brave, and he's been battling his dark nature all his life. We've learned the language from him, and we met him early on our path on the way to the King of the Holy Roman Empire. But later, unfortunately, his dark urges have come over him, and he has become a murderer, and as one has died in captivity. So much for incidents. We are pushing through the insects. We will get drained by mosquitoes, or we could get Unigild to strip down and send him ahead to attract the mosquitoes, but we're not doing that. That would be bad. So push through the insects. We're gaining drained by mosquitoes for quite a while. So this journey has been massively cursed. and so far has not done us an awful good. We've got a few more hooks that are expiring, but these people are too far away to do anything about it. And it looks like the Kingdom of Prussia is in a massive uproar. So finally, we have brought our guest before the High Chiefess of Prussia, and we have completed our task. And with that, we have excelled at our contract, which means we can ask. Okay, they don't have the money yet. We can ask for some additional funds. But yeah, we have arrived with heavy hearts, and again, Bernard is becoming more and more aware of mortality. So let's have a look at the tribal holding in Prussia. Quickly mingle with the locals and see what's going on here. We could we'll enjoy a story for some diplomacy lifestyle, and that actually gets us a diplomacy perk, which we'll look at in a second. We are going to take a look and see if anybody is available for recruitment who could be a good addition for the camp. Not really. We could get her to join. She is wrathful, which we don't generally, and gluttonous, which we don't generally approve of, these sort of things. No, it's fine. Not really. Let's see if we can get some supplies. And we get 188 provisions out, and see if the elder has anything. We do still have no, it's in the decisions. We do still have to do two martial contracts, so we may get that done. So let's get 2 contracts here, and then we're done here. All right, so we've got a fair few things. We have to uncover a secret, which I think that's more of an intrigue sort of thing, which is not quite what we're doing. However, we have plenty of knight instructor contracts around that we can take, so I think that's a good one. But before that, let's see what we can do in the diplomacy area. We could contract prestige rewards plus 20%. That's something I definitely want. Yeah, contract prestige awards plus 20%. A known name. So the name of Bernard of the Lion de Beauvais is becoming widely known. And we'll begin by looking at the knight instructor contracts around here. While the kingdom is definitely in turmoil. All right, we'll probably begin. Veterans for hire. We'll probably begin with training the knights for starters, and there is a significant danger in this area. If we probably don't want to use the high stakes bartering right now, simply because it's and we might actually customize the route a little. And take a slight detour just to avoid the ongoing battle areas, and then we might actually be able to put it back in. It's a 25% danger, so that is pretty high, simply because they don't like us particularly much. Okay, we'll travel there to take the contract without using our bartering skills. In the meantime, let me see those men. So we've got 3 knights to train: Arelis, Kugis, and Glande. Let's see what we can teach them. We have a 71% chance to teach them open terrain expert, or 79 to just follow. So we'll go with that. His prowess increases. Another one, and I think it's similar. 81%, yeah. And that has been as well successful. And the last one, And we'll see 68, 53, 79. I'll do it like this. And we have a contract completed with excellence and gained a hook and gained an excellent contract. So we can immediately get that cashed in and then return again. And then we'll do the other two, and we'll do the other two afterwards. On our way eastwards for the next contract, we am told that a nature is venerated and is an extension of the will of the gods. This is of course heresy, but we watch as the locals adorn an old tree in fine materials and jewelry, as if they were courting it. Many in my entourage are satisfied to watch from a distance, but I feel compelled to do something more. We could join the Prussians. We could burn the tree, and I think that would be. We've traveled far enough that I think we have gained some appreciation for foreign cultures. But yeah, we'll watch it. We'll see if we get the wise man. We did get the wise man trade out of it. That was a 19% chance. So that +1 learning. So we have gotten some better ideas about foreign religions. After the training the local knights in war-torn Prussia, that is disintegrating as we speak, we still feel that we're not any further towards the goal here. Marshall or Prowse contracts they were not. We could look back on our travels, but it does cost 500 gold to do that. So we'll leave that for now as an option. But I think we will leave these cursed lands and travel ever further west towards our homeland in France. Before we do that, we'll have one last look and see what we can gain here. 100 learning lifestyle, we'll take it. Anyone up for recruitment that's interesting? She's a genius, but she's very old already. He's reasonably good at. He's got a reasonable amount of prowess, and he is patient, trusting, and calm. So he would make a decent knight. Actually, it's not having the greatest opinion of us due to a different. Due to a different religion, but I think we'll get out of here. So I think we've done enough. Let's see if there are there are 2 artifact delivery contracts available. Let's see if they're going in the direction that we're traveling. Meanwhile, the plague, obviously, once we start moving our way there, has made its way across from England. Let's have a look what plague that is this time around. The English boils have landed in France. It's the measles. We do not wish to attract that if we can avoid it. But we're building up our barber's tent to hopefully get the camp as resistant as possible to these kind of influxes. We have 2 artifacts that we've been entrusted with that we are bringing. One of them we're bringing to Krakow, to the capital of the Kingdom of Poland. And the other one goes north towards the Duchy of Lutetia. So we'll begin, since we're here, traveling to Krakow and then westwards towards the borders of the Holy Roman Empire. Let's begin planning our route towards Krakow. There is some danger here in the forest, so we could try to, and the fact that there is relatively low control in the country, so we could try to customize that and see if we can make our way around. Yeah, that's better. So we'll make our way around the forest. Unfortunately, there's not an awful lot we can do around the Prussian forests, so that's the travel plan that we're going with. And with Yehudis as our caravan master, things are looking pretty good. So we shall be 49 days. We shall be moving to Krakow. And hopefully this time around on a less eventful venture. We do not necessarily need any more disasters to strike as we make our way across the wintry lands at this point. The Roaring Campfire is completed, so we can begin. We've got the Barber Stand at level 2, but given that we're already heading into diseased areas, I think we can add the dentist's and the surgeon's tools for this. That is going to... we started with the surgeon's tools. We have the gold for it. Why not? And that is also going to improve Sophie's capabilities. So we are making money as we go, and we do have to keep an eye on our potential things. Yehudis has been nicknamed the Hideous, and I think that's unfair to her. She is a bit homely, but she was a good wife to Colonimus, so be nice, people. And meanwhile, we are making our way across the lands, and despite the fact that it is now snowy and winter, we have reached Krakow safely and gotten a 150 diplomacy lifestyle as well as a hook on the local chieftain who has sent us, who we can immediately ask to cash that out. So that's done, and now that we're here, we'll have a look at the Krakow Castle before a few contracts available around in the area. We could pick up a few things on the way while we're making our way westwards. But first of all, let's have a quick look and see. So what we haven't done in a while is we haven't sparred. But I think Thierry feels that he is not strong enough. How about Richard? Okay, we've already sparred with Richard. So let's see if we can find anyone else who... Okay, we need sort by prowess. Yeah, Richard is... Takulf might be able to. No, we are at this point so far ahead of our follower that we are, I would say, a bit of a legend in these lands. Well, how far are we actually along with the Blademaster trade? We're at Blademaster. We're almost at legendary. So. That is certainly giving us additional prowess in battle. But let's have a quick look at the castle, Krakow Castle, and check out the local training grounds. I could get some experience, but I think we're going to get that. We're going to get that for free as we go. Look at my armor, isn't it green and shiny? We'll see if there is anybody here who could serve as a knight. We've got Mieszko, who is a bit slow, but also not particularly good with a blade. And we've got Bodziar, who's even worse. So, no. Let's have a look at the locals in the taverns. And we've already listened to stories. We could get some Hasteluder wit trait. I think that's something we can pick up. And actually, let's see if there's someone up for recruitment. No, and not him either, no. I am looking for capable knights after all. And with that, I think we're done here. And yeah, we'll pick up some contracts on the way, making our way towards the Duchy of Lutetia. And yeah, after hopefully for better times after we have lost a few of our followers. But all in all, our camp is still whole. The years are passing, people are getting older, and eventually things won't go so well as they go. We'll see if there are going to be some kids eventually in our camp. But yeah, the journey will continue. Probably after Lutetia, we'll make our way back into the Holy Roman Empire. We might linger there for a while at Kaiser Heinrich to see how things are going in France and to see if the plague is passing. But also not sure about the situation with King Philip and his pox, and we will see how all turns out. But if we can put ourselves into the service of the king, that would be a great honor. And we're making our way towards exalted among men as well. So I think we need for the decision. We need that still, and 2 more prowess or martial contracts. So we'll see if we can pick them up on the way. That doesn't count, but I'm sure we'll find something.